Shalom, Yashrala. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for Yakim pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I wanted to jump onto this here story dealing with the basically is going into the famine of the word, as you can, pretty much read between the lines, measure the time diligently. All right. Learn the parable of the fig tree. All right. All these things are coming to play right now. All right. The things that was written aforetime was written for our learning and our understanding. All right. It's not that we just keep reading these things over and over and over again to, be able to easily recite these here scriptures. All right. These things are, we're going over these things over and over and over again for it to be embedded in our minds. So whenever we see it, we can recognize it easily. All right. We're getting more and more familiar with these things. All right. These are one of the reasons why we keep hitting these same things. And also, like the scriptures say, it's basically going to be like the birth pains of a woman. It's basically like those contractions. All right. And when the contractions get closer and closer together, the baby's soon to be born. And so as you can, spiritually discerning these things and looking at these things, man, these same stories, not the same articles, but pretty much the same articles and the same, lessons are coming out over and over and over again. They keep hitting back to back to back, closer and closer and closer. Normally, we will be hitting these same topics, going over the same prophecies. That's what we out here for, going into the prophecies, and there's only a certain amount of prophecies to go into left. All right. Nevertheless, we will go through the last remaining prophecies, and then here in between times, there's other lessons to go into, edifying brothers, building brothers up, so on and so forth. But as you can see with these prophecies and the videos that brothers are putting up, it's the same prophecies coming back to back to back, closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. It seems like, maybe in, like, let's say 1 week, you might do one video on the family of the word, because maybe it's just one topic that's coming up in the news about that. But now it's just hitting back to back to back to back to back, multiple things hitting at the same time. All right. Like with this here internet shutdown, going back to the Julian Assange thing, the so-called WikiLeaks and these leakers and all these different things, and the YouTube change up, Article 13 change up. All these different things are letting us know. You have all these different things popping off back to back to back to back. It's not like, let's speak on the internet thing, Article 13. Beforehand, I think they even say it in this here article. Let me see. Salakia, we're going a little slow here. All right, here it is right here. Let me get down. It says in 2012, U.S. President Barack Obama signed an executive order allowing him to take control of all communications on American soil, including those critical to normal operations of the internet. Now, I just wanted to jump to that point for a second because, like I'm saying, with these here contractions, all right, Barack Obama signed something that affects what we're talking about today back in 2012. But as you can see, these, that was like the first, not to say the first hit on the internet, but nevertheless, you see these things, just like with the RFID chip, they started out with the barcode, checkbooks, credit cards, so on and so forth. But now all of a sudden you're seeing, you know what I'm saying? Like your smartphone, this new technology is coming rapidly. You know what I'm saying? Like in the last 2 years, we didn't went on when it comes to, like, let's say your smartphones, these RFID chips. All right. They, like, in the last, let's say I'll just say 5 years to be on the safe side. In the last 5 years, you're seeing more and more RFID chips everywhere, and all your debit cards, credit cards, driver's license. I know most of, like where I live in Florida, you got to have it in your driver's license. All right. By law. All right. They're putting them in all these new cars. You see what I'm saying? And all the new traffic lights and so on and so forth. All this is coming up like super quick. They just going back to back to back to back now. It's not like, okay, like I was reading here on Barack Obama in 2012, setting up this here famine of the word. A couple years later, they hit it with another one. And a couple years later, no, it's not like that no more. It's like, yo, now it's coming out this week. They doing something next week. They doing something next week. And then all of a sudden we there. All right. You pretty much now, like that woman in labor, she's having these contractions more and more and more. That baby's about to be born. All right. So as you can look at these things and measure the time diligently, you can sit here and see, the time that we living in. All right. You can look up and see that your salvation is not. Also letting you know you need to get your house in order and be prepared for this here thing. All right. You don't want to be like those foolish virgins who didn't have the oil for their lamps. All right. So you want to be well prepared for these things that's coming. All right. And that's why the men of the Lord are out here to get, like Ezekiel 37 say, or what is that? Is it Ezekiel 30? I think it's Ezekiel 37 and 10. It might be 37 and 10, or if not, it might be Ezekiel 30 or Ezekiel 3, where it says give basically the Most High is going to give you the knowledge, and you're going to go give them warning from me. Hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me. All right. But nevertheless, I'll grab that when we get into the scriptures. It says, Russia ready for global internet shutdown, can sustain its own web. Now, this is almost a two or threefold in this here article, because there's a lot of things, like I said, or like the scriptures say, blessed are your eyes to see the things that you see. All right. Because the normal person could just look at this and be like, well, we're not even in Russia. What does this matter about anything? All right. Well, just looking at the article title, you can tell what's coming up. The famine of the word is coming up. All right. World War III is coming up. All right. With all these different things coming up, you know, the salvation is now, man. In the midst of World War III, you know, at the end of World War III, you're going to have what's going to end World War III is those chariots coming through, thermonuclear missiles, and the salvation of the elect. All right. But before that, you got to have the RFID chip implemented. So just by reading this here article alone, you can see all these other prophecies going into play. All right. You can see all these different things happening. All right. Now, the woman, just like the woman, the pregnant woman, right? First, her water breaks. And you know, a whole lot of things are going in action at that point in time. As soon as her water break, it's only a matter of time before that baby's born. There's a lot of different things that's going to start taking place at that point in time in that woman's body for that baby to be delivered. All right. It's not just like, you know, you sitting on the couch one day and then, you know, you sit on the couch 1 minute and the next minute you got a baby in your arm. No, there's a chain of events that happen. But once the chain of events start, it's only a matter of time. And there's really no stopping that. Once that woman really go into labor, you really can't stop that baby from coming. All right. So it says Russia ready for a global internet shutdown, can sustain its own web. And again, like I said, you have to have spiritual eyes to be able to read and discern these things. All right. This isn't, you know, for just a regular everyday ass Joe. You know, they'll sit here and read this like, why you guys always talking about Russia and so on and so forth? Hey, it's not about Russia, man. It's about looking at these here prophecies and reading these here signs. All right. You being able to see certain things. All right. And being able to understand and measure the time diligently so you can know when to get your house in order and when it, you know, basically when to know salvation is coming. All right. Because that's what this is the patience and the faith of the saints, man. We patiently waiting on that salvation, and we patiently waiting on all the words that we that we read about in the scriptures that the Most High promised to us. And we got faith in those words. All right. It says Russian users would survive a global internet shutdown as the lower house of parliament passes a bill to guarantee sustainable operations of Rutnet, the Russian segment of the internet. All right. Now, they're not going to really, I don't think they really go into this full scale as to why they would want to do this. But more or less, just think about this. The internet is, first of all, the internet was created as a military application for communications in wartime. All right. So they can communicate and all these different things. A lot of the military systems work off the internet. You know, let's just say the drone program. Basically, they got a big ass remote control airplane. You know, like you got a remote control car. You know, you only got a certain distance on your remote control car that your remote control car can go. But however, if you can put the signal into the internet and you can transmit through the internet, you got unlimited range. All right. But again, look at these drones. All right. You can't control the drones out there in Colorado and firing them off over there in Syria if you don't have the internet. Same with their communications and all these different things, their guided missile systems, all these different things work pretty much with the backbone of the internet. All right. So this is, like I said, it started out as the backbone of internet communications. All right. But nevertheless, for backbone, the internet became the backbone for military communications during the time of warfare. All right. But now, when you get into World War III, all right, when you just go into a regular war, all right, one of the first things you would do is cut off your opponent's power supply. All right, you would go through and you would bomb their shit. Look at Venezuela. You see, they ain't got no real power over there. So what? When you ain't got no power, no matter how big a military is, smart countries don't have their military on their national grid. But nevertheless, you can just see how these things play out. All right. If you can't fuel up your damn planes or whatnot, they really useless. If you can't communicate to tell them to take off, they pretty much useless. You see what I'm saying? If everybody in your country or whatever is in a blackout or whatever, you can't talk to these people. Like, let's say the president can't get on the TV and talk to these people, warn these people, tell them to take shelter. They pretty much a lost cause. All right. So in these times, you know what I'm saying? When you go to war, you want to make sure you can communicate with your people. You're not getting cut off from certain things. All right. So we understand, well, we know through the scriptures, obviously, that World War III is basically going to be between the two major heads, America and Russia. All right. And there's going to be other people joining along with them. But nevertheless, the two heads is going to be America and Russia, Babylon the Great and Gog and Magog. All right. So going into this, you see these situations take place. So when war takes place, they don't want to be in a position where their communications get cut off, or you can tap into their communications to see what's going on. So Russia's being prepared, or they're preparing themselves, just like the scripture was saying, Ezekiel 38. All right, not only with weapons, but also, how do I say, they're trying to be self-sufficient in these times, be able to pull off the normal internet system, and also to further their weaponry. All right, because if they can use their weapons once everybody else is down on the internet or whatever, whatnot, then hey, they, it's pretty much like shooting crabs in a bucket at that point. All right, so it says the new legislation would cost up to 466 million, envision a full range of measures to ensure the operation of Russian internet to counter cyber threats. They include the creation of a national DNS system that stores all domain names and corresponding IP addresses and will provide cryptographic data protection. The bill also restricts the transfer of data shared between Russian internet users and servers outside the country. All right. Now, another thing that this, not to say that this could be hidden to be used with, because hey man, we can see through a lot of these things. All right. We also know that what's being built on the backside of all of these things amidst all this smoke and mirrors and things that's going on in the forefront is what? The Internet 2.0, the Internet of Things. All right. So we already know currently it's not even currently. They've been from, I believe, by the time we actually got the regular internet, as regular people, they had already been working on the second internet. Well, actually, it would be like the third or the fourth internet, because they have multiple different internets. All right. It's not, we use one, but there's other internets also as well. The military has their own internet. There's another internet. You see what I'm saying? And then we have our internet now. But nevertheless, the internet that we use, they've been in development of that, going back, 10, 15 years ago. All right. But nevertheless, this is what they call, the Internet 2.0 or the Internet of Things. There's going to be a whole new system where they're going to plug everything onto the internet. All right. So this is another reason why they will be creating a new repository to store all these IP addresses. All right. So, but going back into this, all right, the main focus is on all these things is what? Measuring the time diligently, knowing what time that we're in. All right. So it says, introduced by a group of lawmakers in December 2018, the bill was designed as a response to an aggressive U.S. national cyber strategy, which accuses Russia, along with China, Iran, and North Korea, of using cyber tools to undermine its economy and democracy. Now, which this is all, I'm not gonna say all bullshit, but I can give it to you back in the opposite way. All right. So America used Russia, all right, and this so-called Russiagate shit to basically brainwash these people and distract them with a bunch of shit. And at the end of the day, they found out Russia ain't have nothing to do with it. So if Russia didn't have anything to do with nothing like that, then how did their name even get brought in the picture? Who the one who mentioned their name? So America was using that as a regular threat. And these stories and memes went all over the internet. You hear about the Russian bots or whatever, whatnot. All right. Along with China. Well, America's been also undermining China with economics. What do you call them? Not sanctions. Tariffs and things like that on trade and all these different things. All right, manipulating. Trying to manipulate their how do you say their trade market over there. All right, and all their different things over there. Iran. There's a program called Sputnik. All right, where basically America. This was under Barack Obama. All right, where basically they had when they was going through their whole Iran with the nuclear reactors and all this stuff that was going on, and Netanyahu with the that bomb that he had, drew up in his, they was in that little court setting, and he drew up a damn bomb, and he had the little red line of like, well, this is where they are, and so on and so forth, At that point in time, the reason, most people was calling Barack Obama a coon, all these Edomites was calling Barack Obama a coon over the nuclear deal. All right. But what they didn't realize was, they allowed them to sit there and enrich uranium and all these different things, but it was pretty much a trap. All right. They were sitting there watching them. They allowed them to do all these things because inside their system, they had basically a computer virus called Sputnik, which they could control the whole shit from Jump Street, from over in America. All right. And really what they was designing those things to do, they could just pretty much turn them on and turn them shits up so damn high that it basically, how do you say, it's like you at those, in a factory or some shit. You see them on TVs and movies and shit like that. Maybe like I Love Lucy, where they turn the machine up so fast or whatever, whatnot, it start shaking out. It just shake itself apart. It's want to breaking because it's just working too much. All right. That's pretty much what this here Sputnik's program would do to the nuclear reactors over in Iran. So basically they can turn the shits up so high that it just destabilizes and the whole shit just fail. All right. So with all these different things dealing with the internet, America's really with the cyber war and all these different things. Oh, North Korea. All right. Now, they had that one movie, I forgot what it was, but they had this one movie where they was talking about things like that and talking about Chinese hackers and North Korea hackers or whatever, whatnot. But this was all what propaganda used to demonize the North Korean leader and all these different things. All right. So who is really using the internet as a propaganda tool? And really, I mean, now everybody probably used the internet as a propaganda tool, but however, who's the main troll with all this stuff? It's America, all right? They're the ones always talking about fake news. They don't even have to use the internet, man. They put it on the mainstream news on your regular TV, all right? Like the Venezuela thing with the fires and that bridge attack, you know? I mean, yeah, they didn't have to necessarily put that out on the internet first and foremost, but they was running these as headline stories on your national news, all right? So, you know, America's sitting over here blaming everybody else for all these things, but really, they have a right to be doing these things because of how America acts. And, you know, like I said, in a time of war, you want to protect yourself. All right. But the important thing with all these things that I'm reading and all this is what? Measure the time diligently. See what time is coming up, man. All right. We're not going to have this for too much longer. All right. Or at least we're not going to have it how we have it now, because I believe when Barack Obama started signing these things in office or in the law, they was basically going to require you to have to pay for access to websites or pay for usage. You know, you basically have to pay for certain things. And they was talking about like, you know, each Google search will cost X amount of dollars or whatever, whatnot, you know, and then, you know, we down to this here point now to where they're going to censor everything. All right. Just like this here video I'm doing now. Basically, this would be censored because I'm getting this off of RT's news site. And this here image that you see right here, if RT didn't actually take this picture, they wouldn't be able to post this here picture. You see how crazy this here goes? For what reason? So that this here word don't go out, because they know that their tongue is falling upon themselves. The minute the Lord out here exposing and destroying the damn devil, all right, and exposing him from all his evil, wicked deeds, all right. And just like John 3:19 say, talking about our people, but I mean, it's the same reason our people don't want to come to the damn light. They want to hang on to Esau and be in their wickedness. But see, Esau don't want to come to the light because first of all, he the wicked, all right? And it's not like you're going to expose him, he going to become righteous. No, he going to be the wicked. When you expose he like a damn roach. It's not like when you turn the light on, you see a roach. He just like, all right, you seeing me, I'm going to leave the fucking house. Nah, when you turn the light on, you see a roach, you got to step on that motherfucker. That's pretty much the point. But Esau don't want to be stepped on. So he going to just keep, being a damn devil that he is. All right. But what? The minute the Lord out here exposing him left and right. But again, like the Lord said, there's going to come a time where this is all going to be shut down. All right. So for you that are listening, it's time for you to get your house in order. Make sure you have that oil for when the Lord comes. All right. You don't be caught out there in the darkness. All right. It says, according to lawmakers, if relations with the West reach a new low, the U.S. goes as far as cutting off Russian IP addresses. The nation will need an autonomous segment of the internet that will work smoothly and ensure communication data transfer between Russia and users. Now they're talking about they can just cut off a whole country. How much more you Israelites? You see what I'm saying? Not to say you Israelites, oh, we're going to just cut off so-called Negroes, Latinos, or Native Americans. No, not like that. But what I'm saying is y'all the only ones that's important to hear this. All right. The elect. All right. How much more, if they can cut off a whole country, how much more they can censor you from hearing this here word? You know, they can cut off the minute of the Lord simply, you know what I'm saying, and just cut us off. We can't even upload no more. I mean, that's literally what the Most High's plan is. All right. So it's not far. I mean, not to say it's not far fetched. That is what it is, man. This is the Most High's plan. And now you're seeing Esau basically going in line with the Most High's plan. All right. It says, though there be no precedents for the deliberate blocking of the internet for entire countries, experts say it's technically impossible. The ICANN, the organization that maintains the central repository for IP addresses and help coordinate the supply of IP addresses registered in the U.S. In 2012, the then U.S. President Barack Obama signed an executive order allowing it to take control of all communications on American soil, including those crucial for normal operations of the internet. Not only, I believe that was with the NDAA or and like I was saying, measuring the time diligently in these birth pains. Really, I believe if this was the NDAA Act that it was signed in, that was a part two to the Patriot Act, which George Bush started. All right, with the the biometrics and all these things. So, like I said, this was going back to fucking like George Bush days and all these things like that. So, I mean, really, when you think about it, these prophecies have been already in motion. But like the woman with her water break. All right, the first contraction she get, and then the second contraction, they're gonna be far apart. But when she's literally, about to start pushing to deliver that baby, the contractions is coming back to back. All right, and that's what you're seeing happening right now. These contractions or these prophecies are hitting back to back to back. It's the same ones coming back. It's like I said, man, you might be hitting on the mark of the beast, one day mark of the beast, another day chariots, another day ICBM missiles, another day race wars, another day, all these different things. But now all of a sudden, in the same week, you know what I'm saying? You go to the news, something like this come out about let's say the famine of the word come out. Then the next couple of days, something else come out about the famine of the word. The next couple of days is back to back to back to back to back. Like, damn, I can't even, none of these other, not to say none of these other prophecies are speaking, but this here prophecy is speaking extra loud right now. Let's hear what the Lord is trying to say to us. All right. The Lord is clearly giving us a message. All right. It's up to us to take heed to it. All right. If we ignore it, then that's just going to be our ass. That's what these 2/3 are doing, because you got the men of the Lord on the highways and the byways prophesying and letting them know, screaming to the top of their lungs, warning them, fire, fire, get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? But our people want to keep walking on by and sitting down and relaxing in the burning building, so when the building, finally collapse on their ass and they die, that's just going to be it. You know what I'm saying? But what we telling you right now, while you do have time to get out of that burning building, hey, get out of the burning building, make preparations, be prepared for the things that's coming, man. This building is going to collapse soon. You don't want to be in this building when it collapses. All right. It says the legislation became a hot topic in Russia as many feared the Russian government was seeking to regulate and censor the internet or even create an isolated one of its own. However, legislation sponsors argued that it is aimed to ensure internet operation, not building a sovereign internet like China. All right. And going into a lot of these different things is talking about Russian government was seeking to regulate and censor the internet. Now you see how they spin this is, the Russians trying to regulate the internet. These guys are so evil. What the fuck is America doing right now? All right. On YouTube right now. All right. For you men of the Lord, you can't even go live right now because why? Esau's trying to censor you. All right. But it's not even a real censor because it's not like you doing anything wrong. All right. He don't want to be exposed. So he got to sit here and be a bitch about certain shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, man, he just, straining at the net, basically. I mean, you can put any fucking metaphor in there, but that's basically what Esau is doing right now, Oh, y'all can't go live unless you got 1,000 subscribers. We know that most of y'all ain't got 1,000 subscribers, so fuck it. We'll let these other people who want to go live, the little boosies and whatever, whatnot, all these little motherfuckers is going live day in, day out, ain't doing nothing but talking about doing drugs and all kind of retarded shit. But you'll let these people go online, you know what I'm saying? These same people that you sit here and condemn, talking about they're all druggies, drug users, so on and so forth. Well, the people who's propping them up and teaching them how to do all those things, you're letting them go live all day long. You're not censoring them. They telling you to go out here and go put it back. Matter of fact, with that boy, Tekashi 6ix9ine, well, he kind of locked up right now, but nevertheless, he was on the internet. Like, they used some of his shit. They used some of his shit against him, some of the shit he was doing on the internet. However, the things he was doing on the internet wasn't taken down by the people on the internet. You see what I'm saying? Like, I believe they said he robbed somebody on film and probably killed somebody on film or shot somebody on film or some shit like that, right? But nevertheless, I'm pretty sure you can still go online and find these here videos, whatever, whatnot, Well, maybe not because it's being used as evidence in an investigation. But the point is, it wasn't taken down for so-called censorship. Oh, this was too violent. You see what I'm saying? You got millions of children watching this dude as an idol and following after their footsteps, just like Lil Wayne with the lean or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? All these kids want to start drinking lean now because Lil Wayne be drinking lean. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, whatnot. So, but they allow this type of shit to go on, or really hip hop in general. You can go online and listen to some of these hip hop lyrics and listen to what they be talking about. You know what I'm saying? Not really getting on, not saying, I'm not over here straining at a net over some damn hip hop lyrics or whatever, whatnot. That's just redundant. But the fact of the matter, the shit that they be in there saying, you see what I'm saying? You straining at a net here. All right. They over here talking about, I can think of Tupac, Hit 'Em Up. All right. The shit start out like, first off, fuck your bitch and then click your claim. Like, come on, man. Like the not really the words that you use, but the visual of what you talking about, man. You over here promoting and bigging up, going to sleep with somebody else's wife. Then going about talking about killing somebody, talking about, he gonna kill you and your mama and all these people and all these, you know the Hit 'Em Up song, but nevertheless, that song is on the internet. You know what I'm saying? They allow that visual to go on. And not only that, people actually died behind all of that stuff. All right. But nevertheless, we telling you what's coming out the scriptures and things like that. And they want to censor us. All right. But yet, like I said, you can go online and listen to all these hip hop artists talk about these things where things actually go real. You know what I'm saying? Like the Tekashi 6ix9ine shit. You know what I'm saying? And the Tupac shit, all this stuff is still up on the internet and stuff like that. You got these young girls on the internet twerking, kids smoking weed with their parents, children that are parents giving their little children weed and drugs to smoke and stuff like that, all kind of crazy shit. You can see all this day in and day out on the internet. They're not really censoring or stopping none of that, but it's when people are coming out with facts or truth about certain things, you know, not even talking about what we call the truth, like going into the scriptures, but you know, you have certain factual things that you can just go into, you know, like just history, certain history about certain stuff, you know. Esau block all of that stuff, you know, because it's bringing out the truth on his ass. All right. But at the end of the day, you know, we hitting him so hard that he can't take it no more. He's about to ready to pull the plug on all these things. All right. And again, they're not going to ever say these things directly. You just have to be able to read the writing on the wall. All right. So real quickly, hang on. Let me jump into some scriptures real fast. So I was going to grab that Ezekiel. I think it's 37 to 17. It would be 3 and 17. Come on. This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. It says, Son of man, I've made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me. All right. So I had quoted this a little earlier, and I wasn't quite sure if it was in Ezekiel 37 or Ezekiel 3 and 17. But nevertheless, hey, like I was saying earlier, this is what the men of the Lord's job is to do, to go out there and give them warning. All right. So how are we going to be giving them warning? Let me go to Psalms. This is Psalms 19 and 1. It says, now the men of the Lord was how do I say, they was tasked with going out here and warning, giving the children of Israel, the elect, a warning. Well, really, the whole house of Israel, a warning from the Most High. All right, and only really the elect is going to turn from their sins, all right, and repent. All right, 2/3 they're going to still hear. You know, they're going to get the warning, but then, you know, they're like, yo, man, you know, you driving down the street at 100 miles an hour, you see a yellow light. You know, maybe that's too fast for an analogy, but you get the point. You driving down the street, you see a yellow light, you can stop at it. You know, you far off, you can stop at it. You know, it'll turn red by now, but you keep going. That red light is your warning, but now you in a damn intersection. All right. And then you know, you didn't got T-boned because you didn't take heed to that warning. All right. That's what we trying to tell you now. Hey man, look, we the red light. Look, you coming up the street, the light turned yellow, it turned red. Those that stopped at the red light and took heed to what the light is trying to tell them to do, those was all safe at the damn red light. But those who didn't want to take heed to the damn red light, the warning light, they drove right through the red light and into the intersection. They got T-boned. They wound up losing their life. All right. And that's exactly what we doing right now, man. We the red light. We out here prophesying, giving you warning. Hey, look, there's danger ahead. You don't want to take heed to the danger. You're going to go right into the intersection and lose your life. All right. But nevertheless, how are we giving you warning? How are we being that traffic light? How are we directing traffic? All right. Psalms 19 and 1, it says, to the chief musician, a psalm of David, the heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showeth his handiworks. All right. Going into what? The heavens declaring the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showing his handiwork. What's in the heavens? All right. These satellites. All right. And this is how you get the internet. Right now I'm on my phone. Well, I just turned off the internet, but nevertheless, I was, you know, while recording this here video, I'm sitting here in Florida. All right. I went online. I believe RT is in New York, I believe, down in Times Square. But nevertheless, I'm here in Florida. All right. Went online, got an article that was posted in New York. I believe it was posted in New York. All right. At RT. Read the article, got it, put it on my phone here in Florida. Now it's going to be broadcast out to the whole world. All right. Now, wherever you are. All right. You know, hey, that's a little challenge. If you want, go in the comment section and put where you're coming from, because, you know, I got an app that can show me where, you know, a lot of my viewers are coming from. You'd be surprised to see where all these things are where these words are falling onto the ears at, you know, United Kingdom, Saudi Arabia, Iran, all these different places in the world, man. I ain't never been in none of them places a day in my life, man. But yet, and still and I ain't went out there to preach this here word. If I ain't been there a day in my life, I damn sure ain't been there to preach the word. But nevertheless, this here word is going out all over the whole four corners of the earth via this here internet. All right. So you can hear this. Let me read the next line. Verse 2, day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. All right. 24 hours a day, 365 days a week, with all the brothers that's in these camps is putting up videos damn near every single day. It wouldn't surprise me that as soon as one video get uploaded, there's another one finished being uploaded. As soon as that one getting uploaded, there's another one. 24 hours a day, there's brothers on different time zones, all right, in different locations around the earth, putting up their videos, all right? 24 hours a day, 365 days a week, videos are going up. Not only that, YouTube isn't like your, let me see, YouTube isn't like your local dollar store. All right, they open from this hour to that hour. All right, then they close the rest of the damn day. If you're not here between, let's say, 7 and 9, you're not gonna get inside this damn dollar store, right? The internet and YouTube is 24 hours a day, man. You can get up on the internet 24 hours a day and watch videos. Let's just say hypothetically, the men of the Lord was only uploading videos between 7 and 5, right? And they all off work after 5 o'clock, right? Now you can go on the internet and watch these videos at, let's say, 3 o'clock in the morning because they already posted up. You see what I'm saying? Day unto day, utter a speech, night unto night, show of knowledge. 24 hours a day, brothers are uploading this here knowledge onto the internet. 24 hours a day, 365 days a week, you can get on this here internet and you can so-called log in, sit down in class, and you can learn. All right, this is like a free college tuition. You can be anywhere in the world and get this here understanding. All right, and it's free. All right, somewhat free. Now you got to pay for the internet, you know what I'm saying, and whatever you got, your electricity and shit like that. But you don't have to pay us for this. You see what I'm saying? It says, verse 3: there is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. And like I was saying about this little it's called YT Creator or YT Studios, which is basically I believe it's the official YouTube creator app. But nevertheless, if you brothers want to grab that app, it'll give you a lot of analytics on your videos. But nevertheless, it'll show you demographics about I think I got about 70% of men watching, and about 30% women watching. They show me the age bracket of all my the viewers that view. All right, and they also show you the countries that they go out in. Like I said, I ain't never been to Saudi Arabia, none of these places, but I can go in this here app and they can show you about 70 to 80% of my videos are viewed here in America, but about 25% of my videos are viewed outside this here country. All right. And mostly all these countries that, not to say don't speak English, but I don't speak their language. All right. But nevertheless, YouTube also has a closed caption, and you also have people who take out, I would say brothers in those countries who can understand our language, but speak another language. All right. They'll take our videos and they'll either re-upload them and talk over our videos to where, like when they go into courts or whatnot, international courts, you'll hear, like, let's say Vladimir Putin talking in Russian, you'll kind of hear him, they'll turn his volume down a little bit. You hear him speaking in Russian, but they'll have, like, let's say a female translator or somebody speaking for him so you can understand him. All right. You literally have brothers in other countries, you know what I'm saying, that'll take our videos and do that exact same thing. They'll speak right over top of what we saying. They'll take everything that we saying and they'll repeat the same shit that we saying just in their language to further feed the elect. All right. And in their country. So cutting off the internet and things like this, trying to act carnally, it's not going to really help you out, man. Well, let me go a little deeper on that, because we know ultimately, according to prophecies, that how do I say that there's a famine of the word coming. We are going to be taken off the streets. But however, in Esau's little attempts, you really can't do nothing to stop this here word. You only, furthering it. All right. Just like now, you threatened cutting off the internet, making us push harder. Come to the Lord while you can. The doors is about to close. What do you think the people are going to start doing? They, the righteous is going to take heed to that. They're like, oh shit, let me go ahead and get on the bus before I miss the damn bus. All right. Going back into this, it says, verse 2, day unto day utter a speech, night unto night showeth knowledge. There's no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out throughout all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them have he set a tabernacle for the sun, which is as a bridegroom cometh out of his chambers and rejoices as a strong man to run a race. So really, what I'm saying, when we go out, upload these videos online, all right, within seconds, once it go out, soon as you hit that upload button and say upload it, it's pretty much all around the whole world at that same exact second. Anybody around the world can instantly just jump on that, like a strong man ready to run a race, just hop up. We good. You know what I'm saying? But going back to verse 4, it says, their line is going out throughout all of the earth. What line? When we first got into this internet thing, you had one of the first companies was what? America Online, AOL. All right. What are they talking about online? We say, oh, I'm about to get online or get offline. What are you talking about? Getting on the internet. All right. So what? The internet is going out throughout the whole earth. All right. Around the whole earth. You can hear this in any language. It's like in any language, any country, you can pretty much see this. All right. And really in this time that we living in now, going into, economic studies and things like that, when he was talking about this digital currency, Bitcoin and stuff like that, the reason that they say that that's going to really work out a lot more than regular currency, especially for third world countries and poor countries, is because not everybody has access to a bank. Not everybody, banks might be far off or whatever, whatnot. You might live in some remote village or whatever, whatnot, or somewhere far off from a city, and you can't get to these types of money changing places to be able to, trade in your currency. Or you might have a small business. You go to these small third world countries, they don't have a lot of shit. Like, we got banks on every other corner, 5 banks at the same intersection. All right. But over in those countries, it's a lot easier for these people because they all have cell phones. All right. That was one thing that the government made them do, is all have cell phones and internet. So now with these things, they can all actually have an online bank. All right. And walk around with their bank in their pocket, with their digital currency. They can trade, buy and sell right there off their phone. They don't have to be walking around with a bunch of money in their pockets or whatever, whatnot. They can tap their phone to one another. All right. But now, as you put that in place, if they got this here system in place for their money to be able to use money better off because they can't really get to banks. Well, if you can use your phone to transfer money and stuff on that same phone, that's just one app. You also got the free YouTube app that you can click on, or that, and you can see this here video. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, if all these people can get this here money around the world, they had it set up so that these poor countries or whatever, whatnot, it'd make it easier for them to get this here money. It's just that much more easy. If they made it easier for you to survive, it's just that easy for you to sit here and get this here word. All right. Just look at here in America. All right. Cell phones cost a little bit of money. You got to maintain a phone bill. Yeah. We get all that. But however, you got little kids that's not old enough to have jobs that got cell phones. In today's society, these parents, just Americans in today's society give their children phones and tablets at such a young age. Or if not, video game systems, or on a smart TVs, you can access YouTube. All right. It's not hard, or, it's damn near impossible for you not to have YouTube. All right. Not impossible for you not to have it, but it's damn near impossible for you not to be able to easily get it. All right. Just by downloading the damn app. All right. At least one of your devices you'll be able to get YouTube on. All right. Let me just finish this here off. It says, verse 6, his going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuits unto the ends of it, and there's nothing hid from the heat thereof. And yeah, just that's going into this here truth going out into the four corners of the earth via the internet, man. There's no place like I was just saying, man, there's really no excuse for you not to get this, because as easy it is to get the damn YouTube app, that's how easy it is to get this here truth. Like I said, damn near, little children, there's really no excuse here in America, because, you even have some of the homeless, or they had, or the really, not to say, not the really, really poor people, but, people going through hard times. They had what they deemed those Obama phones, all these different things, man. I've seen all kind of different people in all kind of different walks of life, just measuring them up economically, not just saying you broke. I got a little niece who's in like elementary school, right? She got a cell phone and a tablet. So I don't know that she ain't got no job or nothing like that. And if she can afford, not even afford, but if she can get a damn hand-me-down phone, that's how she got her shit, is basically because somebody handed her down some old shit. You know what I'm saying? There's really no excuse for nobody. All right. And when you see some of the homeless and so on and so forth still having these things like that, or the internet, hey, it's easy for you to get this here YouTube. But what? It's going to soon come to an end. We're going to close out with that. This is Amos chapter 8, verse 11. It says, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh power. All right. Now focus in on that. The days come. All right. It just like the same shit we saying, man. Hey, man, they getting ready to cut off this here internet, man. The famine of the word is coming. It's coming. All right. Like the scriptures say, though it tarry, wait for it, it shall surely come, and it shall not tarry. All right. Yeah, we keep saying the same shit over and over again, but it's definitely coming. All right. Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh power, that I will send. All right. So it's not just the so-called white man's plan. This is ultimately the Most High's plan. All right. It says, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor of thirst for water, but of hearing the word of Yahweh. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to east, and they shall run to and fro and seek the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it. And in that day shall the fair virgins and the young men faint for thirst. So a famine, as we know it, is what? A shortage of bread, nourishment, nutrition, being built up, sustainability. All right. If you can't eat, you're going to wind up starving to death. All right. But what the scriptures also say, that man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that's pretty much that proceedeth out of the Lord's mouth. All right. Or also, like the Lord said, he that believeth on me, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. All right. So spiritually, all right, like how the Lord is making the act, what he's saying here, actually, you know what I'm saying? You can go back to what the Lord also said in the scriptures, you know? You're not going to live by bread alone, but by these here words. So this is the food that you're going to be eating and nourishing. Hell, go back to Ezekiel chapter 2, the very last verse, and Ezekiel chapter 3, talking about taking this here roll and eating it, all right? And, well, since I said it, let me grab it. It says, Ezekiel 2:8, but thou son of man, hear what I say unto thee, be not thou rebellious like the rebellious house, open thy mouth and eat what I give thee. And when I looked, behold, a hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein, and it was spread before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written lamentations, mourning, and woe. So he says, and when I looked, and behold, a hand was sent unto me. Oh, Slot. Verse 8, it says, be not rebellious like that rebellious house, open thy mouth and eat what I give thee. So he was giving this here book to eat. Verse Ezekiel 3:1, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, eat what thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat the roll. All right. So that roll is what? This here scripture. All right. So going back into, like the Lord said, hey man, you know, you're not going to live by bread alone, but by these here words. He told Ezekiel to eat these here words. All right. Then also, you know, like Yahushua said, you know, out of their bellies is going to flow living waters. All right. So this is all same thing, metaphorically speaking, is what? Regular food. You know, regular food doing what to your body? The only reason you eat regular food and drink water and shit like that is to nourish and sustain your body. So your body don't get weak and stuff like that. It's to strengthen and nourish and replenish your body. All right. So the same thing with these here words, all right, is doing to our body spiritually. All right. That's the, you know, eating and drinking is physical. All right. But these here words that we eat, like we don't take a Bible and literally just eat it up. You know what I'm saying? Put it in our mouth and eat the shit. Nah, it's just like when they say, like how Jake talk, man. You got to understand the Most High is the ultimate Jake, man. Oh man. They over there, we over here breaking bread with one another. You know what I'm saying? We over here, you know, getting down or whatever. Oh, man, I'm over here eating. I'm over here lunching on that shit all day. Or, you know what I'm saying? You get the point and the idea. You know what I'm saying? We breaking bread together, man. We getting down. I'm breaking bread with little homie over here. I'm filling them in on the game. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. We eating these here words. All right. We digesting this. We ingesting and digesting this. All right. But what the Lord is saying, that there's going to come a famine of the word, but not a famine of bread or a thirst, but a famine of hearing this here word. So soon the Lord is going to take away this here roll that he told Ezekiel to eat from out of the hearing of the people. All right. Let me just read this all the way through again. Amos 8:11. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread nor of thirst, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. All right. So you're not going to be able to hear these words no more. And what's the main way we pushing this here word out? Via the internet. All right. So going back to the article, what's the writing on the wall telling you? They're about to shut down this internet. So what prophecy do you see coming to pass? The one we're reading here, the famine of the word. We just read how this word was going out. It was going out via the internet. All right. The Lord said that the word was going to go out via the internet, mainly through the YouTube. All right. And now as we see all these changes coming to the YouTube and them trying to cut off the internet and things like that, what other prophecy do we see coming to pass? The famine of the word. All right. So, hey, this could be a clear cut to all these people who don't believe that we got the 100% truth. First and foremost, just showing you clearly prophecies coming to pass back to back and how they affect one another. All right. Verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea and from north even to east, and they shall run to and fro and seek the word of Yahweh and shall not find it. And that's talking about these people that's, you know, on the borderline or on the fence. You know how Jake normally do it in their life. They'll go do wickedness till they get about 40, 50. Then they go turn their life over to the Lord and go up in them churches after doing all that wickedness. You know, that's Jake's mentality. I'm going to just go be wicked. And then when I get old, I'll go to church and I'll give my life to the Lord then. A lot of our people got that type of mindset, but we telling you now and give you warning now, just like in the days of Noah. All right. Our people had the same mindset in those days too, man. Yeah, we see him building the boat, but when we see these rain clouds, when we see it start raining, yeah, we'll go and listen to him then and get on the boat then. But when the Lord closed the doors first, he closed the doors first and sealed up the door first and then brought the judgment. Same here. He's going to close and seal up the door first and then bring the judgment. It's going to be too late. Then it says, and they shall, verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, even from north, even to the east, and they shall run to and fro and seek the word of Yahweh and shall not find it. It says, in that day shall the fair virgins and the young men faint for thirst. So they're going to want to be dehydrated or starving to death because they ain't going to have this here word. They're not going to be nourished and sustained. All right. Like the scriptures also say, wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy time. All right. So this is the food you need to be lunching on and getting stacked. This is the healthy meal you need to be dieting on right now. All right. Before it get taken away. All right. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. Went way longer than I expected, but you know, Lord willing, the elect was edified with this. And until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect.